Okay, today we have very interesting conversation that I've been having with my nephew and nieces, one generation below lah.
Ooh.
So what's really interesting is we're gonna have 3 generations this time.
3, okay.
So you guys know lah, got guess. You're listening to...
Jom Sembang, Malaysia.
Okay, so guess what's these 3 generations? So we actually have Juita, which is Generation X, born in 1965 to 1980.
Okay.
I didn't reveal your age. I just reveal your generation. Okay, and then I'm actually a millennial. Surprisingly, I'm actually a millennial. Of course, I'm born in 1981 to 1996.
Okay.
And then I'll guess later, Generation Z, born 1997 onwards.
Wow.
Yeah, so what I really wanted to chat about today is the things that I'm going through with my nephew and niece that I sometimes cannot understand, but I can't really ask them because we are too close.
Okay.
You know how sometimes you have blood ties, right? Then you ask, right? Then it might be too sensitive, or the way they answer is not very serious lah. Then I cannot have the deep conversation that I want to have lah.
Okay, she always wants to have deep conversations, but okay.
Yeah. So there are certain work ethics that I cannot understand when it comes to Gen Z lah, okay?
Okay.
But before we dive into that, as you know, I really do freelancing for many, many years.
Okay.
So when I first quit my job to do freelancing, then you have my parents who, like the baby boomers who like,
Okay.
what on earth is she doing?
Yeah.
The definition of work is different with every generation. It's something that I want to explore lah.
Okay, cool.
All right. So what would be your definition of work when you first started out?
Wow. Can like break down the question a bit. It's like,
Break
wow, your
down.
definition of work. Okay, so I suppose when I first started, I was thinking, okay, what work do I want to do? What do I want to do?
Yeah, how did you decide on what your first job was?
I was actually quite idealistic already. So I
Okay.
wanted to do definitely something that I would enjoy. I didn't want to go and do something that I'd be like, oh, mundane, and just do it just for the money kind of thing, wait until the paycheck and then do, enjoy what I want to do outside of work. I wanted work to be something that I would already enjoy and I wanted it to be meaningful.
Okay.
Which I think at that time was a little bit of a...
Yeah,
not so...
people will call you fussy lah.
No lah, idealistic ah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say fussy, but yeah.
So I actually, when I first got my job was, I wanted to do writing.
Okay.
Then my parents said, tak boleh cari makan. So I did marketing and major in copywriters because still think that it's related to writing.
Okay.
So my first job was very related to just copywriting because I hated every aspect of marketing and advertising.
Okay.
Like I don't like PR, I don't like graphic design because I fail it. So I cannot think of any other position in the advertising world that I can fit except for copywriting.
Okay.
So my first job was very practical in the sense that something that I might be good at and somewhere near home. Because I didn't have a car. So I was making decisions very specific like that. Not so much of which company, not so much of job scope and not even
Salary,
not quite.
Okay.
Because by then, everybody's entry point is like same lah.
Okay.
So yeah, that was how I started lah. Then after that, I worked for a few years and then decided to like, me being me, like, I just come out and do my own stuff. After seeing the world, maybe like 4 or 5 years, I said, if I do my own stuff, number one, I can have flexible time. Number two, I can do more. Because I had the main problem I had in my work was I get bored easily.
Yeah, she does.
So it's because of how efficient, I don't know lah. Efficiency is a strength and a weakness.
Okay.
Right? So I'm so efficient that I get bored easily when I finish all my job and other people are trying to catch up with their tasks.
Okay.
For example, a writer write a headline and then the designer have to design 3 posters with the same headline. So they got 3 times more workflow. Work job, right? So I write one line, you design 3 times. So
what do you do in the...
I'm very fast. Correct. Because one designer, one copywriter, so I get bored easily. So after that, I started to play with design and started playing around. So when I started to do a lot more job scope, because I was bored, that's when I decided that at a certain time in my career, for 5 years, I'm good enough to quit my job and do it freelance to earn triple the amount of money.
But also doing more things lah.
Yeah, but
covering
also
more.
not getting bored because I will have enough to occupy myself. So in a employed situation, I'm not allowed to do 5 persons job. People get angry, why you do my thing? After my boss take, I'm not very good enough, is it? You not do for me, that kind of stuff. Then you cannot cross borders. And if you take up too much, your boss won't increase your salary leh. So you feel a bit stupid for doing right. So my best solution was jumping out.
Okay. Interesting, because the first time I started working with you, I think I mentioned this before, I always come with a very specialist mindset one. So if I'm looking for a copywriter, I would go for a copywriter. If I was going for a designer, I would go for a designer. And again, it could be a generation thing. I don't know. But I always felt like, if I need a sound engineer, I would go to a sound engineer. If I needed a master, okay, people not going to understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, can you change to not normal occupation?
But, okay, so let's say I need to do repairs in the house, right? Everybody would kind of understand this. I would prefer to, if I need plumbing job, I get the plumber lah. I wouldn't just go to the handyman.
So my question would be, when we met, I was a journalist.
Yeah.
Correct. And then somewhere along the line, you came and said, Gina, can you do a design East meets West poster?
Yes.
How did that come about then?
I think you must have mentioned somewhere along the line that you did design. Then it kind of stuck. Oh, she's a designer, huh?
Oh.
So then I'm like, okay, there's that other skill set lah. And then after that, right, it's like, but she do this also. Then she do this also. Then after a while, I get like,
my generation confused
actually,
people.
which one is her actual... because I also come with the mindset that the 10,000 hours, how many hours?
The mastery lah, the 10,000
the mastery,
hours
right?
mastery.
Like if you are doing too many things, then how good can you be at either one of them lah, So, yeah.
But I must say, I'm quite a rare breed with my generation.
She's so frustrated.
Because not many of my friends can do many things.
Okay, that's true lah. So yeah,
but
some
also
people
because
have...
mine came from boredom lah, so.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. But there is that, of course, there's always that room to grow and learn different things and to do it well. It's like paying attention to detail, for example. For people who pay attention to detail, you can actually get good at different things rather than just simply do lah. Then you probably won't be good at even the thing that you're trying to specialize in lah, right?
Alright, so today I want to talk about generation gap in the working space. Because, for example, when I first got my job, right, as a copywriter, and then I was so bored, then I started to do design. Then when the designer quit, I was doing 2 roles at the same time.
You got paid more or not? No.
No, because of my first job. A bit bodoh, right? Okay, do. And then I remember being so bored that my boss does not know what to do with me.
Okay.
So she's like, you're quite free, then you go bang. I said, now I become admin, I go bang. Writer, designer, banking.
Because you're so free, she's like, how to occupy your time.
Yeah. And I think he struggled so much to try to keep me occupied and productive.
And not bored?
Yeah. That when I finally resigned, he said, you want to do another role?
Okay.
I said, no, I'm resigning because I'm not growing. The one that place didn't have a mentor. So I learned a lot. But then he didn't have enough project for me to learn and grow lah.
Okay.
So I remember that boss was saying, nowadays young people, they bored, they just leave. I was one of the one who kena this comment lah.
So you were one of the early, that generation that didn't necessarily stick with the job for...
Correct.
20 years.
Because there were other designers. The designers all worked there 5-10 years lah, 7 years lah, right? They say,
so 5 to 10.
You bored, just keep it to yourself lah. Pretend to be busy lah. Take the salary and go back lah. And me being me, right? I don't know how to do that.
But they were like older than you?
Older than you. Older than me lah.
Older than me?
Older than me. Your generation, not my generation.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering, that first perception that I get, right?
Yeah.
Reminds me of now when I talk to my intern. Like, hello, what are you thinking? The same way my boss did to me lah.
Right.
So because of that, I'm very curious, because at my position at the time, I understood what I was feeling.
Yeah.
But now I try to understand younger generation's feeling, right? And I cannot, in my mind, understand stuff like, text you, sorry, I woke up late so today I don't come to work lah. That one I cannot understand.
Okay.
So today we try to understand with our guests lah.
Okay. This episode is brought to you by CMate Communications. They do design, they do copywriting, and they do all sorts of creative content. So if you like what you're hearing on Jom Sembang Malaysia, if you like the artwork, do reach out to them, CMate Communications on Facebook. So today we have Nicholas Wong with us. He's actually interning in the studio where we record.
Wow, you reveal a lot of information.
Yeah, I do.
Never mind, it's okay.
Studio number 5. Also because, Gina has been always talking about, young man outside there, like intern. So yeah, now we have a voice to this invisible person. But yeah, please welcome Nicholas.
Hi.
You wanted to ask him questions?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question like, But then don't lah, just jump to this question. No warm up one, this
Warm
girl.
up dulu, warm up.
So internship is considered your first job, right?
No, actually not.
Okay, so what was your first job?
Okay, my first job, it was like after SPM.
Okay.
Because like after SPM, I was like bored. And then my mom was like, "Aiya, you stay at home, got nothing to do, you go outside to work lah." So I was like, okay lah, fine lah. But actually at first, like, you know, in Gen Z, like my generation lah, they usually like after SPM, they want to have fun.
Yeah, play game
They want to
lah,
have
whole
fun by everything. But I mean, yeah lah, play game the whole day also. Until there's one point my mom was like, "Aiya, you stay at home have fun, got no money, got no work, might as well you just go work lah." Then I was like, okay lah, I just follow my parents then I just go and find work lah. So, my part-time job is actually at cinema.
Oh,
As
that's
in
new.
those like ushers, everything lah.
ah.
Because I worked there for like a few months only. At first, I'm not sure if it's like because of generation or what. At first, like maybe when I started lah, I was like blur. I got like nothing to do, like introvert.
Okay.
Introvert, I feel lazy, I don't want to do. But slowly adapting to it and started just like work for like about 3 months and then I stopped.
Actually, right, rewind a bit. So first day of work, right? What happens?
Oh.
Does your superior brief you or not?
Yeah, of course, he briefed me everything. But I was like still blur.
Like,
I was
cannot,
still blur, like, yeah.
You can talk 5 things in my brain. Okay
Yeah,
lah, like
but
that
like,
lah.
in and then out. It's like in and then out like that. Because in my generation, like I say, like, they want to have fun, everything. Feel
I
lazy.
also want to have fun.
Yeah, I feel like
I don't know, like
maybe-
my generation didn't want to have fun.
What?
We finished high school, then we said, okay, after this must be the first one who work at McDonald's, get some pocket money to buy things that we want. 80% of my friends were like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say like my friends, they would be like, you know what? My parents can buy this for me. Then I was like, yeah, it's fine. Everything I can just like go easy going.
Mhm.
My parents can do everything. And then like once I finish, and they're like, okay, I'm just gonna go to foundation. And they just do foundation like that.
Okay.
And then how about money, everything, pocket money? My parents got.
Ah.
But maybe there would be some would be like still do part-time. They still work for the money like me. I still do part-time to get my own pocket money lah.
And was that because your parents was like, sorry, I'm not going to give you pocket money already? Or just because of your own, hey, why not I do something and get extra?
Yeah, my parents say like, why not you try to work and get your own pocket money yourself?
Okay, so there's a
But I feel like,
suggestion.
yeah,
lah.
it depends on like how they grow up in the environment also lah. Because in my environment, like my parents would want me to go and earn money by yourself. And there are some is like, you know what, just study everything, pocket money, everything, we cover for you.
Focus on study, don't play, you know?
Yeah, focus on study. Because I feel like in this era now, they will be like, more on studies. When it comes to work, it depends on people. But mostly they will like study first.
More
More
not so
on study.
multitasker already.
Yeah.
Study. So, okay, just now you said your first day of work, I feel a bit blur. And then what happened?
Just follow whatever that they ask me to do. It's like we are not like those kind of we do it like it's our responsibility. We only like, they ask us to do, then we'll do.
Was he sick? Lack of ownership?
Something like that lah. Cause like, you know, you're like, okay, you know, I'm just gonna do only. Just do only.
Okay.
But okay, was it
Interesting
like
thought.
a conscious thing that like, I just do only lah? Or was it more of you didn't have any other
Reference.
like it's not like there's no other thing in your mind. It's not like I purposely just want to do just what minimum money.
Something like that lah. Like I say, just do it. Cause I know that I'm working.
Mhm.
I know that I'm working, so I said, okay, I'm just going to do it only. Whatever they ask me to do, I just do my own responsibility. The other responsibility, they take care.
Okay.
Is this
So it's a
part-
conscious effort to
Would this
yeah.
call part of the do minimum culture that's coming up?
Yeah, can say like that.
But
okay.
what do you feel when it's just do only? Like it's just okay lah. It's okay to just do the minimum because that's what I'm here for.
I mean, like something you can say like that because we usually like, okay, we just like, okay, just do whatever it's necessary. The other, which is like other things until the full effort one, nah, it's okay lah. it's okay lah. We can just do minimum like that.
Would it be because work is not the priority lah, in a way lah?
Can say like that lah. More like, cause maybe
Or-
for me, whatever I do, as long as I can get money, it's good enough.
So would it be like they only pay me to do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. So I just do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Say, what if I want to bother about 6, 7, and 8 when actually you just pay me for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and I
Yeah.
can get away, right? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But does this do minimum applies across your life? For
Mm,
example,
from small,
when it comes
you
to homework, right? Just do ABC page lah. Okay lah, just do ABC page lah. Don't need to do the DEF extra homework lah, you know? Or what I mean is, does doing minimum apply to every aspect of your life, from schooling to, let's say,
At home.
to a relationship? Like, okay lah, my girlfriend say meet 3 times a week. Finish meet 3 times next.
Well, that's actually quite interesting. When I was in primary school, you know, when you're in primary school, you are just like, whatever the teacher tell me, I will do my homework. But when you are at the high school, where I go to secondary school, high school, I'll be like, you know what? I have my own freedom. I don't have to listen to the teacher. So I just do the minimum, or sometimes homework is like, you know what? The teacher say this, and then I just do a bit, and then I say finish. So it's like there's no more putting much effort into it anymore. It's more onto like, I want to do everything myself. Whatever it is, I'm correct at it. So it's like more onto like something you can say like selfish. It's like everything on me only. I don't 100% care on other people. So
Okay.
it's like whatever I feel is correct, that's correct.
Okay. Do you actually think, how can I beat the system? So you need me to do ABC, but I don't want to do ABC because why should I do ABC? So is it like you consciously think, how can I get away with less? Is it like that? Or
Yeah, it's something like that. Because
so it's a challenge to you to feel like, I don't have to do ABC, but how can I get away with it? Is it something like that? Or
well, we want to fight it, but we cannot fight over it because we don't have the power to fight over it, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
But I would say like in Gen Z you also can see like a lot in social media, everything, right?
Okay.
They are like, I want to fight for my own self. Like
Okay.
everything is like self-centered.
Okay.
It's self-centered. So even in work, like nowadays, even in work ethic, everything, right? They also like self-centered. Whatever work I do myself, it's all on me. So like other people, I don't care. I just do whatever I need for myself.
But does it also mean that you all know very sure what you want? I mean, in order to be self-centered, you must really know what you want lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for example, like at that age, right, still growing, new to the working world, and everything, but you already roughly know what you want.
I can't say for other people, but for me, it's like, I know what I want already. So that's why I just like work whatever I feel is correct. For other
that
people,
contributes to what you want.
yeah. For other people, maybe they just like, I'm just gonna go full party on, just study whatever. And then when the time comes, it comes. Like that. They are like happy-go-lucky.
Okay.
No worries in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
No
so
worries.
question. So coming back to the work in the cinema one.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously you knew what you want in that point. It was just like, I'm just doing this to earn the
Pocket
extra
money,
pocket money.
yes.
And you know it's going to be 2-3 months.
Yeah.
And therefore it's like, okay lah, I'll just do. There was no like, oh, I should make my customer happy or whatever, right? There's no feeling about that.
No. Because I just like work whatever. It's like, okay, I just work, I get money, that's it. For the customer to be happy,
Not your problem.
not really my problem, but I just try lah, just try lah. Just try like that lah.
It's so-called like not invested in work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it doesn't bother you guys.
No.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, let's say you clock out on Thursday, finish work, then it's like, all right, now I can get on with my life kind
Yeah.
of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very
okay. Compartmentalized lah.
Yeah.
So switch off lah. After that, switch off lah.
Sure.
Okay,
Quite
so
an interesting
so
lifestyle.
after that, what happened? After
So
that,
you say blur blur, right? The
Ah.
supervisor scold you or not?
Oh, no lah. They won't score lah. Because I think even nowadays supervisors, they also know like how this kind of generation works. So they just like, yeah, you know what? Just follow only lah. Follow. Whatever we say, just follow.
Okay.
Like that.
I also want one like generation lah. Follow ni follow.
Follow only lah.
okay lah, but as long as you do lah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So long term wise, what are you targeting for or like look for? It cannot be in this mode forever. Or can one? Maybe can. I don't know. I'm
No,
not
but
in
he
the
said he wants to do what he wants to do. What? So what is
correct.
the one to do lah? Next.
what I want to do. Of course, after diploma, I'll continue to find work. But because I know what I want, so whenever I get a job that I want, I will do my best. But for other people who is like still have no idea what they want, probably they just like, you know what, life is just, I just go on with it lah.
So
If
they
I
get a
work,
job
then I
like the
get work.
cinema one and they just
Yeah,
like
just
that lah.
go on like that lah.
Until they find what they want. You think?
Yes, until they find what they want.
Oh.
Cause like even in my generation, not many people know what they want. So like sometimes where they like, just get the job ready. Okay lor, then I just earn money already. They are just like minimum only lah. When it's time to clock out, then clock out.
Okay lah, my generation also not say everybody know what they want. Sometimes I
Yeah.
also don't know what I want sometimes.
Yeah, but I would say your generation, no matter what, they will fight very hard to keep the job.
Mm.
Your generation is like, okay, you're not happy with me. I'm just doing what I want. I don't want. Okay, bye.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That is the contrast,
Yeah.
which is why I think the next question will be, what are the differences or the challenges working with a superior that is different generation? Because superiors like that will not understand like, she no hard one. Today she bad mood, tomorrow he resign. You know,
yes,
but
yes.
in
That's
his-
happened to me before.
Yeah, correct. But then now listening to him, right, it's totally different perspective, right? So they just go like, I have no more meaning in this, and you don't even appreciate me doing my ABC. Then I just buy lah. So how do we actually bridge that gap? Is what I'm thinking about lah. So I wanted to know like, okay, what are the challenges that maybe to you not challenges lah? It's like just laugh or behind next lah. Okay, working with more elder generation kind of thing. Maybe an example or something that has happened before.
Probably like for me lah, I would complain. Complain is the number one.
To whom?
To anyone lah, maybe to your friends.
But not to your boss lah.
No lah, no,
Okay.
of course not to your boss. Of course not to boss. Maybe complain to friends, like your best friends, or like maybe to your parents. If you're 100% super close to your parents,
Okay.
then I can maybe like complain to my parents. But my parents also will say like, yeah, it's like that one lah. When you grow up, the world is like that lah. A lot of different kind of people lah. But yeah, sometimes like either we stick to it, or we just like, I'm just going to do. If you still don't find happy, you want to fire me, then fire. Then I can just go find another one.
Okay, but what would be the things? Okay, you don't have to mention specifically here lah, because your current boss is here, right? But what kind of things would make you feel like, oh, I didn't sign up for this? Is it like, I mean, just for example,
Overtime.
Is it like overtime? Or is it asking for you to do things that wasn't in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? What would be the things that you might complain about, for example?
Overtime is one thing. Extra work from what I'm being told to do. And of course, another one, I feel like is underrated disrespect.
Okay, in what way?
Maybe in this generation also, like, everyone has like those self-pride.
Okay.
They are self-pride, like self-centered like that. So like when people say like, hey, can you help me buy this stuff? Hey, why do this thing, do that thing? Then they will be like, I come here is to work as what I'm being told, not as you're like this kind of like
Not
second
copying
guy,
or something.
like that lah, something like that lah.
Okay. So what if, okay lah, let's say right, next week lah, you're working for me lah for 1 week, whatever lah. And then let's say you're on the way somewhere, and then I call, hey Nicholas, I need forgot to get battery for whatever. You think can get on the way? So would that feel like disrespect? Like, why are you asking me to do this kind of thing? Or
It depends like if you are like a close friend, then we don't mind. But if you are like someone that is like just like
Just a boss.
no like that only one lah.
not?
You feel like a hassle like that. It will feel like a hassle, like, why must I do this? It's
Okay,
like,
no, but in terms of a work, in terms of a
Like your boss calls you
yeah,
to
let's
buy
say you're
battery.
going to a project, right? And then before that, like, alamak, just discovered this one don't have. And then it's like, on the way you've got, can you detour to
buy battery before you
somewhere
come.
and come, yeah.
if it's near, then okay lah. If it's far, I'll be like, okay lah, can lah, like that.
So what can we do to keep your generation motivated at work? Since it sounds so like, okay, I just go in, clock in, come out. But if I'm really interested to groom you or something, what can I do to motivate you to stay
to feel good
or
in
to
it
feel
lah.
good enough
Like,
to grow or something like that?
yeah.
Actually, I also have not much of idea of it, but probably have fun only. That's what
So
I can
about
think
have
of.
fun.
'Cause I also can't think of like what we want. Maybe just have fun. Yeah,
Fun sounds like the key element here.
Yeah.
So just make it fun.
just
But
make
then
it fun.
life cannot be fun all the time. Then how?
I don't know.
Just
I'm
make it
the
fun.
generation stuck in between. So yes, I'm quite big fan of fun, but I'm also very stuck with responsibility and a bit over responsibility.
Maybe it will be at a certain age where you will feel a responsibility lah. But
Yeah,
Not
I don't
right
know.
now.
I felt it.
Now
I
will be
felt it
like, I
very
want
young. My
fun.
first job was 21. So I felt very bad when I had to quit my job out of boredom
Mm.
because I know that my boss would not have a copywriter.
Oh, okay. To find, you
Yeah.
have to find somebody else to do it.
So
right?
then I would prolong my resignation or I pre-warn. So what I did with him is like, hey, I'm going to resign and look for a job because I'm bored. But I'm telling you first so you can look for a writer while I look for a job. So that is the kind of responsibility level lah that comes with my generation, which I don't really see in your generation. That's why I wanted to understand what are the train of thoughts. It's like,
Yeah.
I quit already, resign, let say lah, you know, you mati sendiri.
Yeah, it's like that. Even you see a lot of like on those social medias. Like IG, they'll always post like, quit already, then quit already lah. I can just find another one ma. Or like they complain about their boss everything. It's like they only care about themselves.
But could this also come from the place that this generation is very secure in the way that their parents are providing? Because like my generation, we are more responsible because our parents was like struggling to provide. So we understand a little bit more of like quitting your job is not as simple as quitting your job. But your generation is like people like me go and like, oh, I must take care of my children. They must not go and suffer the way I suffer. So you're a little bit more provided and provided for. And could that be the contribution of how then you all become very confident of what you want to do and doing what you want to do lah?
I would say it's like, cause I live in PJ and KL. You can see a lot like those like very rich, got money kind of parents, right? So they just like provide for their children. So their children will be like, happy go lucky, everything. Well, I can just quit never mind, no money, my parents still got some money can help. But if you see like my generation, but in kampong, all those one, right? Kampong, there's not much money one. There they will start to like find responsibility and earn money for themselves.
Like
Like for me, because my parents don't expect to give me money for pocket money, that's where I want to earn for myself. But for others, where their parents is like, you know what, I can just give you money, no worries. That is where they start to have like, can one lah. My parents can one lah, no man.
okay, so then
money
it
one.
reaches the point of when you need to do
Then you will do.
Yeah.
what you need to do to fulfill what you want lah.
Yes.
So if I need to have how many cups of coffee in a week, and then if like I already got cut off the supply line, then I still want to have this, then I will need to do what it takes to do that lah.
Interesting. I like that. Maybe we should try that for a week. You might lose some project partners. But let's zero in on one thing before we wrap up, right?
Yeah.
What about communication styles? Like just now you talk about like disrespectful and certain stuff like that. So I'm very curious because I find like my niece and nephew will complain stuff like, for example, the editor says something that is, for me, wasn't that bad. But for them, it's like super bad. So let's say I'm the editor. Okay, I edited your article, but you know, there's these few common mistakes that you always make. Can you make sure you just don't keep making in the future? And she'll come back and say, let I quit my job lah. Make some mistakes also cannot. So I wanted to understand, how can we communicate with your generation better without offending if that makes any sense?
Like I say like, because like when I hear like you say the editor say like that, maybe for me, I would say like self-centered again. Maybe your niece or nephew think like, that's correct. So this is my work. I don't want other people to disturb it. So when I give it, it must be correct. But then suddenly when the maybe editor say, oh, this is wrong, and then I will feel like, my work gonna disrespect like that. So it's like I feel mad. Maybe to some people it's okay, but for me it's like, this is like I do so hard already, and then you don't accept like that.
Oh, but you all won't see like a learning point. Oh, I can grow or I learned something. Not so much that.
No, not really.
Okay, I must learn how to communicate. So how would you, let's say if you are the editor now, how would you communicate to yourself about this?
Take it or leave it.
If it's me as the editor lah, I probably like say it in the Gen Z way.
Okay,
come.
which is?
Like let's say if this is like a wrong one lah, and then I say this is actually quite good lah, but how about together we try change this lah? Together we try change this, and then maybe this one we can just change a bit lah. But everything is good. Everything is good. That's very nice already. We can just try to change this a bit only, and done lah. Like you don't say in a formal way. You say in an informal way. Informal.
Hey, that made my coaching quite good.
Point
approach,
one, informal way.
Because too formal,
But-
we feel like too
Like kena
formal,
scold
like
like
yeah,
that.
kena scold. But informal is like a play kind of joke like that. But we understand like that lah.
But it's because they appreciated your work in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Because they said, hey, actually this is pretty good. Rather than jumping straight into what went wrong with it.
Yeah.
But they're appreciating that, okay, actually this one, but how about we work on this one a bit more?
And
Something
that's
like
the key point. The other key point
Okay.
is how she said, how about we.
Yeah.
So making you feel that it's a team
Yeah.
work and
team.
not just you have to correct it.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. So you would rather have the chance to rework it rather than somebody work and say it should be like that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good point.
That's a good point. I've asked enough questions.
It's like we hate being told. We hate being told what to do.
Yeah, I quite Gen Z, so I sort of I also kind of hate being told what to do. I have a question. Okay, so you mentioned the word self-centered
Mm-hmm.
quite a lot of times.
Yeah.
How would you categorize the word self-centered? Would it be neutral, positive, or negative?
As in,
Is it a?
Is
would
it
you
a negative
encourage?
thing? Is it a positive
Yeah.
thing?
Let's say you have another friend who is even more self-centered than you.
oh,
Would that be a good thing? Whatever thing, or not
it
so good?
can be good, it can be bad.
Okay.
There's two ways.
Okay.
Good thing is where, let's say if you really know that the boss is like treating you very bad,
Okay.
and then you feel self-centered, it's like, I should be correct, and then you are wrong, everything. Or
Okay.
you know like your boss is wrong, but then he scold you, and then you'll be like, I am correct. Everything is like, it's me correct, everything. That is okay. That's okay.
Okay.
Because the boss is wrong, but then he don't want to like admit it, everything. Then you feel self-centered, like, I should be the correct one, everything. That's correct.
Okay.
But what comes to the bad thing is where like, you don't care about other people already. It's like everything is on you only. Everything is me, I. That is where the bad thing starts already. There must be a balance between it for what I would say.
Okay. So for me, right, the one where you said is the boss did something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't necessarily call it self-centered lah. In my generation, I would say standing up for myself or standing up for what is right. Could be a different definition of
Maybe.
of words. Yeah.
But what I'm really interested or put into was the whole, even though you might call yourself self-centered, but the fact that once you have a friend that you really care for, you really go all out.
Yeah.
You no longer self-centered with the
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
So the same could apply to work lah. Your boss just needs to make himself like super friend that you don't feel like you need to self-centered around
Yeah, so
him
it's
lah.
like just now the question about, hey, we really need this battery.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think if you understood why you need it, like, hey, you think you can help
No,
me
it's still a
get-
nonsense. It's still a nuisance. No, just kidding. For my generation, it's like the moment you know that without the battery, all of us going to work is nothing, then I will get the battery.
Because then I arrived there and actually we cannot do anything because there's no battery.
Yeah.
That's still
But
wasting
for
my
you,
own
like,
time.
if you understand the importance, will you still complain about it?
Actually still would.
Okay.
Why you never get the battery? A lot on me, leh. I just go there
Okay
and say
lah,
lah.
but actually complain, okay lah. It's like, actually it's somebody forgot, right? Or something went wrong. Like, okay lah, but you wouldn't like think it was problematic or somebody's bullying you or
Yeah lah,
that
but I
one.
would say-
Unless every time lah, right?
Maybe this generation is complain generation. Love complaining.
But you see, it's all these small nuances, you see. Like older generation said, hey, I just get it lah, get the job done.
Yeah.
You know? But that is like my generation, right? The further up one could be like, I'm your boss lah. Of course, the lower fellas, the runner boy go run lah. I really
Correct.
60
The
year old,
youngest
you want
fella,
me to
right?
run? Yeah.
Like, those baru masuk punya.
correct. So there's that generation up there that always think that the youngest need to do certain things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then there's my generation who's like, whoever convenient do it, right?
Yes.
And there's his generation is like, nothing to do with me.
Your problem, you
Nothing to
buy
do
lah.
with me,
Why I buy?
Which is why if you said a generation one after another is still, you can try to work together.
Mm.
But if you put two generation, like there's a gap one, habis hancho sudah.
Okay lah, but I think what I glean out of this conversation is that you guys are looking for that mutual respect.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like I'm better than you because I'm older or I've done this more, but we can work at it together lah.
Yeah. Like fun lah. Don't want too formal lah.
Don't too formal lah.
Fun lah, fun. The
Don't too
keyword
formal.
fun.
Don't too formal. Jom Sembang Malaysia is hosted by two Malaysians who are passionate about Malaysian stuff.
Stay tuned every week for a brand new Sembang session with Cerita Suito and Gina Yap Layung.
Today's episode is recorded at Studio 2105.
Remember to click like and subscribe for the brand new episode next week.